So Roy Keane and some others have some problems with modern sports science and strength and conditioning. Let's take a listen.
I have players available. You're an asset, yet all of you are in the treatment table.
Well,
The manager has to
the
look at that as
younger
well.
players are like, it's kind of the GPS. It's like, oh, they've trained like
Get
60
told, I've just
minutes,
come out of
get
it
them off,
and players.
protect them. Like,
Yes, fatigue management is bad, apparently.
Too much, and then every morning you have your meeting with your staff and come in and say, no, be careful with this player and he can't do this. He can't. And so bullshit all that. So I've got stats up. So the players now are running a lot less than what
In training, not games.
I've seen. I've got. Of course, you can overtrain before a match. I understand it when you're sort of tapering down in the last couple of days before a game. If you're working in a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the idea is that you've got to push your body beyond the point that you're comfortable doing, and the match days become the easiest thing.
Just making training harder does not necessarily make it better.
A level that is extreme, so a point whereby actually on a Saturday you can cope. Your body can cope with Saturday, Wednesday. You play 55 games a season. You have no rest. Your body's got to be robust. This idea that I know you can overtrain. So there's some sports scientists watching now, so you know what he's talking about. He's prehistoric.
You don't know what you're talking about here. You actually are backwards on this one.
That's what I was thinking.
Go on, Cal, it's a brilliant.
No, I get the fact Thursday, Friday you taper down, but you have to take your body to an uncomfortable place.
yeah, and younger players need to build resilience, so
Yeah.
they need to be pushed. Yeah, they've got a little
but then
calf
look in
tear,
the-
like
look in the-
A little calf tear. Just run through that. It will heal on its own.
He's got to come out now.
It seems the players aren't robust enough.
that's what I mean. Resilience.
Most modern players are actually better athletes than they were.
Every bit of information and they're
Is
looking
that a
at
good
it.
thing?
Looking at it.
Can't be.
And like, oh, I've done this much run today, so tomorrow I need a little.
I can't have someone
It's
telling me I'm in a
psychological,
That's
that, though, whereas
basic
you just
strength and conditioning.
Oh, you train.
Got it.
What is it?
I need more massages.
Okay, so this was basically a bunch of former players that don't understand modern sports science or strength and conditioning. And the problem with their entire logic is we know for a fact modern professional soccer players are actually running more and at higher speeds than they were in their playing days. Scientists say that Premier League shows that professional football players are sprinting more and more, and it's changing the way the game is played. Here's a study on the running demands in the English Premier League and how it has changed. There have been significant changes in total distance, high intensity distance, and sprint distance on a team level from 2014-15 to 2018-19. And this has been accumulating over the years. So in the early 2000s, there was even less running than there is now, and there's more. This combined with the fact that players are playing more total games than they ever were in the history of the sport. So players are accumulating more miles run just by the games they're playing. So the idea that they need to be doing more running in practice, and it's because they're not doing this more running in practice that they're not more robust, is just dogmatic and wrong. If anything, any current injuries or anything like that that's happening in modern soccer is probably the result of overtraining. So the solution of having them do more fitness and more running in training compared to what they're currently doing and what the sports scientists are recommending would probably just make things much worse. Not to mention, since the players are actually performing at higher levels, both in the ability to endure and do more total running, but also to do it at higher intensities and higher speeds, it doesn't make sense that they're not working hard enough. What actually makes sense is that the sports scientists are doing their jobs, and that by doing their jobs, by providing them the adequate stimulus to actually have the athletic traits that they need, but also being able to have fatigue management and manage their fatigue so they're fully recovered and prepared to perform in matches, they're capable of playing at higher levels than what Keane, Neville, or Rooney did back in their day. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that Keane, Neville, and Rooney don't know what they're talking about when it comes to soccer. However, soccer and strength and conditioning are two different things. They played at a very, very high level as professional players, but I don't think any of them went to school for sports or exercise science, nor do they have any certifications or anything else in that field. But this distrust of sports scientists and data like this, such as the GPS, is just backwards, dogmatic, it's dinosaur thinking, and it needs to die off. All of the top managers in the game today utilize this information, and all of the top players are also doing so because it makes them better athletes and it keeps them healthy. If you want players to perform at high levels, listen to the nerd in a lab coat. He probably knows more than somebody who just played the game.